Welcome to my channel. My name is Spring, and this is Spring, the Fiber Enthusiast. Today I'm going to start a series of Basic Crochet 101. In today's tutorial, I will teach you how to do a slip knot, a chain, a single crochet, and a half double crochet. I will go slow and give you a chance to learn how I do these techniques. We all get our own comfort level and our own way of doing things. So let's get started by talking about the tools that we are going to use. In today's tutorial, I am going to be using a Boyd crochet hook, and it is classified a 5.75 J hook. It is a tapered shaft right here. What I mean by tapered is some are inline shafts, and I will give an example. This is an inline shaft, and I will hold the two side by side so you can see the difference. Okay, so that is the hook that we are going to use. These are very common and easy to find. The next thing I'm going to use is another very common and easy to find yarn. This is Red Heart Super Saver 100% cotton. You can find it in Walmart. It is very easy to come by and very affordable. We are going to start with our slip knot. Again, I am going to teach you the way that I do it. There are multiple ways, and you will learn along your journey the easiest and most comfortable for you. I take the tail end with my right hand, because I am right-handed primarily, and I take my left hand and move towards my working ball of yarn to allow a tail. You want to have enough that when you get done with your slip knot, you are able to sew that tail in and hide it within the fabric. Now, to make the slip knot like I do, I take and put my working yarn between my middle finger and my thumb. I then wrap over the top of my index finger with the tail down below it, just like that. Slide that tail in between the same two fingers that's holding the working yarn, just like that. Again, I go over my index finger, down behind it, and slide it in with that other yarn. Then I take the tail and I go up over my thumb, just like that, and place it behind the loop on my index finger, just like that. Then I take the tail and once again slide it down here between my fingers. Then I take the loop off my thumb and slide it over my middle finger and grab that tail and pull it tight. This way, when I put my hook into that loop, I pull my working yarn and it slides up to my crochet hook, just like that. Let's do that again. So your right hand holds the end of your tail. Your left hand moves towards your working ball of yarn, holding it between my middle finger and my thumb, raising my index finger like I'm pointing. take that yarn tail and go over my index finger, down behind it, slide that tail in with the working yarn, bring that tail up over my thumb and put it behind the loop on my index finger, just like that. Then I bring that tail down and join it with the rest. Slide that loop over onto my middle finger and pull the tail out. Okay. Now we're going to slide this onto our hook. And when you pull the working yarn, you want it to move the knot up to your hook. Not real tight, not super loose, but loose enough that you can slide your hook back and forth with ease. It's not hanging up at all. If it's too tight, it's not going to go on and off your hook, making stitches real easy. So you want to make sure that it's nice and loose. And I loosened it back up just by pulling my tail a little bit, and it loosened this knot up. I'll pull it tight like that. Then I can pull on my tail and it loosens it up. Just like that. Okay, let's get started. Now I hold for tension on my working yarn like this. I go around from the palm side of my hand with my working yarn around my pinky. Just like that. And then up and through my index and middle finger. Like that. That's how I hold it. We'll do that one more time. Around the pinky from the palm side, down below it, and up. Pass through between your middle and index finger and over the top, just like that. Then I reach over with my index finger and my middle finger and grab hold of that slip knot that I made to hold it in place. Now I keep things fairly loose, but it holds just enough tension on my working yarn that my loop isn't just falling like this. My hook isn't falling. Tighten that back up a little bit. But I can hook like that and it's not falling. That's the kind of tension that I hold. Some hold their yarn just between their index and their middle finger. Some do like I do and wrap it around their finger several times. There's many, many ways that you can hold it. There is no right and no wrong way. There is only what is comfortable for you way. So again, go over my middle or my pinky finger, around it, and pass it through in between my index and my middle, and then come back down and use my middle finger and my thumb to grab that slip knot. Now, to create your first chain, you're going to yarn over. Yarn over means to pass the yarn over the top of your hook. Just like that. Then you're going to turn your hook so that way the hook itself is facing your hand. That way when you pull through the loop, it pulls the yarn through. If you don't, you're not going to be able to go through that loop that's on your hook. So turn that hook down to pull through that chain. So again, we're going to yarn over. Just pass that yarn over the top of your hook, turn your hook down, and pull through. Again, yarn over, turn your hook down, and pull through. Yarn over, hook down, pull through. Yarn over, hook down, pull through. Okay? I want you to have 11 chains by the time we are done. We currently have, and this is how you count them. You see the V here and the V here. You're going to count each one of them V's up this way, and that is how you count your chain. So we can look at it this way. Here's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. And one more up here is 6. The loop that is on your hook does not count as anything. So we are at 6. We want to have 11 chains. So yarn over, pull through for 7, yarn over, pull through for 8, yarn over, pull through for 9, yarn over, pull through for 10, and one more, yarn over, pull through for 11. You now have 11 chains. Now we are going to single crochet, and it also is seen in patterns as SC abbreviation for single crochet. This V, first stitch below your hook, is a turning chain. It does not get used except for turning your work at this point. So we are not going to do anything with that first stitch below the hook. We are going to go into the second stitch below the hook. You are going to pass your hook in and through that stitch. Yarn over, and you have, before you yarn over, you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 1 loop. You still now have 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through both loops. And you have created your first single crochet. Let's do that again. You're going to go to the next stitch, not the one that you worked in, but the very next one, and pass your hook through that stitch, giving you 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, the next stitch, pass your hook through, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We are going to complete that process all the way to the very end. I'll meet up with you at the end. Okay, you should now have 10 single crochets. And if you look and turn your work over so the top is facing you, you can count the first stitch below the loop on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then right here where we turned at the very end, is 10. And I always recommend, especially beginners, to take some sort of stitch marker, and it can be a piece of yarn. It can be a little stitch marker like this. It can be a paper clip. It can be a bobby pin. Anything to put in that spot so you know that that is the first stitch that you created on that row. So that will be your last stitch in your next row. Okay. So we have come to the end down here with 10 stitches. Now we are going to learn to reverse our work and do another row of single crochet. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Reverse it. Go the opposite direction. Okay? Now that chain 1 here does not account for anything. That is a turning chain. Now what you're going to do is slip your hook into the very first stitch. And how you can tell it's the very first stitch is to look at the top, at them V's. You see that V right there at the edge of your work? That's where you're going. You're going right in there below those V's. You're going to go under both legs of that V, just like that. Okay? So insert your hook into that first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. You have created your first single crochet on your second row. We are now going to do 9 more the exact same way. Take your hook and place it into the next stitch, ensuring that you're going under both of those legs. Yarn over and pull through. 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both. Continue doing this to the end. Okay, we are coming up to our last stitch where our stitch marker is placed. We're going to finish that exactly like we have done the rest. Going to insert our hook just like that. You can take this off before or after, does not matter. Yarn over, pull through. You have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both. I'm going to remove my stitch marker from this end, and I'm going to count back 10 stitches. And place my stitch marker at the other end so I don't lose that stitch. And 10. Okay. So now we have 2 rows of single crochet. Let's move on to half double crochet. You will see the abbreviation for half double crochet in a pattern referred to as HDC. Let's begin. To start our half double crochet, I am going to chain 1, turn my work. Now I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook into that very first stitch. Remember how I showed you to look at the top to make sure you're getting the very first stitch. You can see it's where you came off on your last row. Insert your hook into that stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You now have 3 loops on your hook. You are going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops, just like such. We're going to go to the next stitch. And you always start your half double with a yarn over, just like this. So you have 2 loops here. Then put your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and I hold my fingers on these so that way they don't get too loose or too tight. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Let's do that again. Place your finger on that loop so that way you can slide it up and down, but it doesn't get too loose or too tight. Yarn over, add that to the pile, and place your hook through the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. You now have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, just like that. We'll do a couple more together. Hold the loop that's on your hook with your index finger, yarn over, grab hold of it too. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Continue on to the stitch marker and I will meet you at the end. Okay, I've come to the end of my row with 1 stitch remaining where my stitch marker is. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Chain 1, reverse your work. I am now going to move my stitch marker from this end to the other end, 10 stitches. So here's our first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Place the stitch marker in the 10th stitch, just like such. Now we're set up and ready to go again. Okay, we have now reversed our work and we're going to do our second row of half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, go through your next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Continue to the end. I've come to the end of the row with 1 stitch remaining. We are going to complete this row with a yarn over, go through that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now, to save your work, you're going to pull the loop up a little bit. Take that stitch marker, place it through that loop, lock it into place, or whatever you're using to hold your stitch. And now it won't go anywhere. Okay, now we can look at it. Zoom in. You have 2 rows of single crochet and 2 rows of half double crochet. There you go. Thank you for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give me a thumbs up and a share if you can. On the next tutorial, we will be working on double crochet and triple crochet. See you then.